Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suited for all audiences. As of now, viewer discretion is advised.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Bourne, and this, once again, and hopefully the last, if not, I'll keep recording, but this is The Evil Within. Now, last time, we started on the final chapter, Chapter 15, An Evil Within. And already we've seen some harebrained shit. But now, I'm kind of treading into unknown territory. So, let's see what this game has in store for us. Any minute now.
If I make it out alive, I'm never riding in an elevator again.
I don't blame you. I really don't. Just in case. Shit. Well now. Ain't this interesting? Alright. I can't run.
It can't be.
Help! Help!
Sebastian, get away from him. Sebastian, listen to me. Stop. Your interests are the same as ours.
Look, I get it. You're not just some rookie detective, and this is not just some ordinary kid. You killed Joseph and you shot me. So right at this moment, that's enough reason for me not to trust you.
You're a good man. That's why Doesn't matter anymore. If you know who this kid is, if you know anything, you know why he can't be allowed to live.
Bullshit. It's Ruvik. He's the one that...
I got nothing.
Leslie, stop.
Leslie!
The fuck? we have literally landed on the hive mind. What? Ah, shit. He's got testicles on his chin. Oops. Something tells me this ain't gonna be so easy. Just saying. You know, I get the feeling that this is kind of a losing battle. You've got to be kidding. Well, that was kind of short-lived. Am I dead? Nope, guess not. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Well, mission accomplished. They really disorient the player when going through this fucking mission. To some extent. Uh-oh. The... Achievement unlocked. One of the many. Alright. Well now. Didn't expect to end it this soon. Wait a minute. I don't think it's over. One of the men... Oh, shit. There's another fight, isn't there? The hell?
I created this world. You cannot keep me here.
Ruvik. I'm going to finish this.
So is there, like, layers to this? Cover your eyes, kids. This is gonna get juicy.
Vital signs, sir.
Leave that one. And those two. They're not going anywhere.
Nurse? And
No one
Kidman.
can.
What? Ruben Victoriano. Leslie. Withers. Damn.
Go, go, go! Detective, are you all right? Is there anyone else?
Just give me some real fresh air.
Leslie? Ah, shit. We let Ruvik out. in Leslie's body. He made the switch already. Son of a bitch. All right. Now then. Ah.
Dropped and lost. Walking a tightrope bound to slip. Sound is a twisted lullaby. Touch is the slice before the blood. Soon something's got to give in. Can lose control. Remember to focus. So I can find my way out. Can't breathe to the street. Long way down. Suffocating endless dream. Long way down. Long way down. Long way down. Don't give up the light. Using every last breath. Escaping the long way down.
All right. Well. Given the circumstances, I might have to take this into consideration. Chapter 15, Clear. Well, now. I thought long, I thought hard about how this whole thing would go, about my end opinion of the first Evil Within game. Just story, not the downloadable content, but just through and through story and mechanics involved, I did have to think about it. So here's what I came up with. The visuals of the game itself, when played on the graphics settings optimized for your system, mine is 1080 because I have a GTX 960, blah blah blah. Honestly, the visuals, though it had some issues in certain spots, they were extremely and utterly minor. They did convey the atmosphere that each and every scene was going for. Like, there was calm moments where you start to understand what's going on, and then it takes a complete turn where it throws you into a different situation altogether, and the environment does reflect it. The visuals of the characters themselves look honestly fantastic. Granted, some of the zombies look a little grainy at times, but that could just be my settings, so I can't really hold that against them. Compared to other games of this genre, this honestly does look very well. So I honestly have to give the visuals an 8 out of 10. Design, as I said before, the layout of all the levels and everything, it felt like you were playing somewhere new each and every time you were going through, well, each and every level. To an extent, sometimes it looped back around, but that's okay for certain games. But a lot of times the scenery just got a little too, I want to say, too comfortable with itself. Sometimes the design of the levels and everything just kind of, it didn't bring too much new to the table, but it was there. So yeah, I honestly have to give that 7 out of 10 just because it didn't really do anything new or out of the ordinary, but what it did bring to the table, it did pretty well for the most part. So good job on that one. Here's where things suffer a bit, though. Well, actually, I'll leave that for last. The story in of itself, I should have started out with this, was very solid. If you follow along, the pacing was kinda out there, but if you can forgive that for a second, the story in of itself is very interesting. If you pick up all the notes and everything, and granted, I did forget a lot of the audio recordings, but I know kind of what the hell was going on with the story. Just kind of when I was thinking about this as an afterthought. But all in all, the story is pretty good, being that you play as a character that's stuck in a collective consciousness state, kind of in a coma. It's been done before, but the way this game does it, like with the visuals and design, it does it in a way that is kind of fresh, in my opinion. All the characters pretty much get flushed out the way they're supposed to, in a sense. Julia Kidman being an exception, along with Joseph, sort of. But we still have DLCs to go through. I'm just judging it on the story mode, the main campaign. Overall, with the dynamic essence of the story, not only Sebastian's story, but also Rubik's and everybody else tied into it, I have to give the story a 7.5 out of 10, just for the simple fact that it is good. It does suffer with some vague description in where it shouldn't be, but all in all, it does accomplish what it set out to do, bringing to life a very, very interesting story. The atmosphere also, compared to like Amnesia or Outlast or stuff like that, it does kind of deviate from that, giving it the third-person shooter feel to it. But there are still some instances that will still make you question what's coming next and kind of be apprehensive for it. Sometimes you even get scared depending on what your actual fears are, which, hands off to the game, you did a good job with that. Points suffer a little bit with sometimes the atmosphere doesn't really tune up with what's going on perfectly. Like, there were some instances where in the asylum, the mental hospital itself, and the lower levels of the church, I want to say, that kind of throw the things off just a bit from what I think they were trying to go for. But, you know, it's nothing too big to worry about. They honestly still did a very good job with that. 7 out of 10. Character traits. Now this, I honestly feel, is one of the best parts of the game, that it honestly does shine through. All the characters, as I said before, were really fleshed out. Sebastian and Ruvik especially, because they do have motivation for doing what they're doing. They do have a lot of essence pulled out of them. Sebastian himself honestly does have a lot of normal reactions, well, in the dubbing at least. The localization for this game that I was playing. The script and everything was perfect for the situations that he was facing it. Like, I called out many times where, honestly, he said the exact same thing I would have said in such a situation, I would think. And he kind of had a lot of the same reactions any player would in those sort of situations. So, very good, honestly. Plus, the whole backstory of, losing his daughter and becoming an alcoholic, and his wife goes missing and everything. He does feel like an actual character. Like an actual character should. In contrast to that, we have Joseph and Kidman, who really don't get fleshed out very much. Joseph, you can see he is very intelligent. He's very good at what he does, but he apparently is extremely and utterly impulsive, which, that trait right there, the voice actor was a good call for. But it's just like, it kind of felt conflicting in a way. Here's this smart, excellent cop who is also extremely utterly impulsive to rush into action. In that sort of situation, I did say that Sebastian should have done that, but I honestly retract that statement now. From way, 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 way back. Kidman, as I said, is very vague. Her character, she doesn't say very much. She is there, and I know she gets fleshed out more in the DLCs, but for the story itself, it's just kind of left hanging. Everybody else accomplishes what they're there to do. Leslie, being a mental patient, he is honestly a fun character, even though he doesn't say very much. He's kind of like Boris in Bendy and the Ink Machine. He doesn't say much. He doesn't say anything at all, pretty much. But you do honestly worry about him, care for him, even though he says, well, in this instance, barely anything. The Doctor, through the flashbacks, he does get flushed out more, and we actually start out thinking he is a good guy, but find out he was doing illegal experimentation with Ruvik and ultimately screwing him over. So that sort of heel turn was very good, how they did it. So hats off to them. Overall, all the character traits across the board, I give that aspect of the game, story mode at least, an 8 out of 10. What honestly kills me about this game are the mechanics of it. Throughout it, I complained about, feeling like tank controls, but only a little more awful. I will be blunt about it. It's like I played a lot of different tank games back when I was younger for the PS1 and the PS2, which controlled a lot better than what Sebastian was controlled as. Along with that, I think the control scheme for the Resident Evil games, especially were a lot more responsive. There were some instances where I was pressing the button to get up on a ledge or get behind, crouch down or something, and they would not respond. And I tried this with 2 different keyboards to be sure. More on that in previous videos, especially with Outlast. But regardless of that, I also made mention of a squad-based mechanic whenever Joseph was teaming up with us about making him stay or go or anything like that. I have to retract that now because, we got to use very little of it to the point of me questioning why that was in there to begin with. So it's just like, you should have just left him, we shouldn't have been able to see his health to be altogether, just because we really couldn't tell him what to do, really manage much other than, healing him up, which costs us nothing. I have no complaint about that. I feel like it would have been more of a survival tactic to, have the cost of his health come out of our, green goop or something, or use up one of our syringes to heal him. That way, it becomes more of a dire situation if they're going to continue with the health system for him. Overall, there are many complaints I have with the mechanics, to the point where, yeah, they're average. They have a lot of problems. Overall, they're nothing special, and after a while you get used to them, but still, the problems do persist after a little while. That being said, I do have to give the mechanics a 5 out of 10. So overall, the game gets about 70.8%. I'm just going to round it to 71%. C-. I'm going to add 1 percentage point as an afterthought for the theme of the game, the music, and so on. So 72% overall. I would say, yeah, play this so you can get your own experience out of it. If there was anything that you found scary about this game, please do play it. But it's nothing too special. It's just average, in my opinion, overall. But those are my thoughts on it. From what I've heard, The Evil Within 2 kind of fixes a lot of stuff I had problems with, but I have yet to play it, so I don't know what to expect there. Plus, we still have to get through all the DLCs for The Evil Within to see what Kidman is like, or what else is present there. But while I have you folks here, I need to decide real quick. I actually have a list of games I want to play that I have that I do want to let's play for you guys, because I said I would be staying away from horror for at least 1 or 2 games. And I tried to sit down multiple times and actually think about which ones I want to do next. And now that it's crunch time, I just want to definitively say which one it is. So, along with the DLCs, and I gotta mark this down, but I do have Minecraft, and I will be playing that at some point with my roommates, or roommate, depending on the circumstances surrounding that, but I will get to that at a later date. Probably within the next coming weeks. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play something a little more controversial. Something that has been gotten bad press over the past couple of years because of the development process and everything going behind this game and after the game came out. So without further ado, next game on the list is Mighty Number 9. If you guys like what I've been doing with these videos, go ahead and hit like, share, subscribe. If not, hit that thumbs down button. I don't mind. It just tells me I need to improve. But better yet, send my stuff to people you don't exactly have kind thoughts towards. You see what I'm saying? But until next time, y'all have a nice day, and take it easy.